Well, if you're trying to figure out what to get someone and maybe don't want to buy video games or concert tickets, a more valuable present might be something that you can't put under the tree, a stock.
Stocks are pretty easy to gift and can pay off in a big way. CBS News MoneyWatch reporter Megan Cerullo writes in her recent article that gifting a stock can be a great way to introduce a child to investing and that it keeps on giving for investors of any age.
Megan joins us now here in Studio 57. Megan, I have to say, when I heard about this, I was like, oh, that's such a good idea, because you could give somebody a stock of something that they like, something that's aligned with their interests, so it's thoughtful, but it's also a gift that potentially has an upside that lasts beyond, just a couple of months.
Exactly. It's a great way to get young people interested in investing and teach them the basics, and can potentially be a lot more valuable than just a wad of cash, assuming they hold on to that stock and it appreciates in value. And it's relatively easy to do. There are two main ways people can gift stocks. One is they can transfer shares of a stock they already own to someone else in a brokerage account, or they can buy shares of a new stock outright and also transfer them. These processes incur a transaction fee, so to avoid that, you can simply give someone cash with which they can buy the shares themselves.
All right, you mentioned the transaction fees. Are there any limitations or risks associated with this?
There are a few things to consider. If you transfer shares of a stock you already own, importantly, you actually also transfer any tax liability associated with that stock. So if you bought shares of a tech company stock, a decade ago, and they've appreciated, if you were to sell them, you'd owe capital gains tax, and you transfer that to the recipient. So if an older person who makes a lot of money transfers that stock to their young nephew who's 22 and is in a lower tax bracket, they will actually be, if they were to sell those shares, they would actually be responsible for paying less in taxes than the original stockholder would be. As far as limits go, for 2023, you can give up to $17,000 per individual, or double that, $34,000 for a couple, without having to report it to the IRS. If you gift someone a cash gift above that amount, you're not necessarily responsible for paying taxes, but you have to report it, and it'll be applied toward your lifetime gift estate tax exclusion of $13 million. So many Americans don't have to worry about exceeding that limit.
Yeah. If you have to pay taxes on $13 million, you're probably doing okay. But if you're gifting stocks to children, what are the calculations? What has to be involved? Because do they have to have their own brokerage accounts? Just talk us through that.
There are a few things to consider. Minors cannot own stock outright, so you'd have to open what's called a custodial account. They'll own it, but they can't control it until they reach the age of majority in their estate, which is usually 18 or 21. And it's actually a great idea to give the gift of stock to a young person to introduce them to investing. And when considering what kind of stock to purchase for them, to a little kid it can sound like an underwhelming gift, especially if there's no actual physical present for them to unwrap under the tree. So if you're giving them, if you're buying them stock to their favorite retailer, for example, just get like a $25 gift card to that same store so that they can get excited about the present. Or if you buy them stock in an entertainment company, you can get them a toy that's associated with that company that they like. Even a company like Johnson & Johnson, which might not sound sexy to a little kid, what they can do is they can turn around their shampoo bottle and they'll see that Johnson & Johnson name printed on the back of that and other household items, and that can personalize it for them.
All right. Megan Cerullo, thank you.
Thanks so much.